and know your prey.
We're getting stupid.
Just keep moving.
Come on.
This is the Yukon, the gold rush country of Canada's north. This is hostile territory. A century ago, only 1/3 of the dreamers who passed through actually made it. Simple survival in this place is one challenge. Being chased is another. This is Mantracker, an elite tracker and skilled horseman. He uses forensics and relies on instinct. His business is to find people, dead or alive. This is uncharted country for Mantracker. Riding along is Chuck Hume, a native guide who knows every inch of this territory. Mantracker normally serves the law, or those lost souls in need of help. But today, it's personal. He's being challenged by these two. They're not after money, just fame. They're here to beat Mantracker at his own game.
Never having been hunted before, it'll be a totally new experience. But I anticipate it'll give me that extra drive just to keep going.
I have what it takes to be sitting at that finish line, drinking a beer, watching the Mantracker ride in on the finish line going, oh, that's where you are.
Let's go, figure out what we got.
The countdown is on. Seconds from now, a flare will fire to start the chase.
Got 2 of these bladders, what do you think? Should we leave one back?
Either that or drain one. Yeah.
The prey are unaware of Mantracker's location. Only 2 kilometers away, he scans the horizon, waiting for the signal.
You got first aid, you said?
Yep.
Don't forget, TP.
TP, excellent.
These two met just minutes ago. To survive the chase, they must quickly form a bond and learn to work as a team.
You betcha.
Self-defense.
We're ready.
Joe is a wilderness adventure guide. He's used to this environment. With first-rate navigation and leadership skills, he might pull this off. Julio's a fierce competitor, an extreme wrestler from the city. He relies on nobody but himself to win. But here, this weekend warrior is far from the arena.
And in case anything else gets too close.
What are you gonna use that blade for?
Come on now.
Just look like some Boy Scout out that hadn't gone to a troop meeting in years and
All they're provided with is a map and a compass. Food, water, anything else they carry is up to them.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go. I know the wilderness is going to be out there nipping at my heels, and when it does, I brought my little sidekick.
The prey head northeast in a flat-out sprint. With Mantracker's whereabouts still unknown, they need to cover as much ground as they can. The rules are simple. They have 36 hours to reach a highway 50 kilometers away. Not so simple when you're a moving target through this grueling wilderness. Mantracker has no map, no compass, and no idea which way the prey are running. Before his hunt can begin, he has to find their starting point. He moves slowly and methodically in a widening circle in the general direction of the flare. He needs to find a contact point, the first clue. A footprint, a broken twig, a torn leaf, something.
There's so much dead stuff, I don't see any definite tracks right off the start.
You'll barely be done 2 lines of our bios by the time we're at the finish line.
There's nothing really definitive here. But there is a depression right here. This depression right here could be a human footprint.
The depression is distinct, but soft. Is it animal or human? Unlike the oval pad of a bear paw, it's straight like a human print. For Mantracker, it's the only forensic lead he has.
So it looks like they've taken to the bush almost immediately.
Mantracker. How the hell is he gonna follow us in this? There's no way.
Right here we've got a freshly broken stick. It came off of that piece right there.
No, I think he can get a basic sense of direction of where we're going, but that's about it.
And this piece has been dislodged from its resting place there, which tells me that their direction of travel is that way because this got thrown back there. These two are in a serious hurry. Looks like they're running scared. When somebody takes off like that and starts running through the bush, they're not really caring about their tracks. They're caring more about making distance away from the person that's behind them.
For Mantracker, the chase is all about strategy, something his prey need to discover for themselves.
We can't be that far already. No way.
10 minutes, no.
Pretty lush pine needles here. Doesn't leave much of a track. Ground disturbance is about all you get.
Don't you think it'd be harder for him to track us over there, though?
It would be. Yeah, let's cross.
We just got to try and cross the road without leaving a track, right? So,
how you for jumping?
They need to move fast without leaving any evidence.
That's rough on the beer, right?
Yeah, I know.
Nice. Okay.
The evidence is still thin. Mantracker must now turn from reading the ground below to reading the minds of his prey.
They showed us they were trying to make as much ground up and get away as fast as they could. The terrain dictated that the fastest way to go was on the railroad bed itself.
The more we can avoid stepping on the vegetation and just aim at either the railway ties or the gravel, that'll give Mantracker less to go on.
Yeah, but most of the tracks are covered in vegetation.
Yeah.
Well, the ridge is just back there, so we're pretty close already. I keep hearing something in the back, man.
Okay, hold up. Okay. I thought I heard something.
I think I hear hooves, dude. You hear
Let's
it?
go. Yeah.
Hey, Joe. Joe.
Julio.
Stay down. I brought my little sidekick.
Even though Mantracker is still 2 kilometers behind, the prey are hearing things. The sounds of the wild are deceptive. Paranoia has set in.
I guess at the beginning that really threw us for a little bit of a loop, and we started running and running and running, and it really got a little crazy there for a while. Let's stick to the plan.
It could be a moose.
Let's hope.
Barely 3 hours into the chase, Julio and Joe have bushwhacked off trail, leaving little hard evidence. Mantracker is forced to predict their moves based on human tendencies. He's betting on the path of least resistance, the railway bed.
There's 2 curves on the railway track that they both go left. And it's hard to tell whether we're at the first curve
one,
or the
or
second.
we passed one already, maybe, right?
Okay, so this will be the second. So we're going to head up to that ridge now.
Joe and Julio leave the railway track for higher ground, jumping onto a dusty road. It's going to cost them. Finally, some ground disturbance leads Mantracker off the railway.
We'll head back out to the road.
Okay.
This prey may have stepped off right here. Mantracker spots his first real evidence. the gap between them narrows. As the prey climb a steep ridge, they are completely unaware that the posse is down below and closing in.
Right there is the ridge we're looking for.
Yeah.
Hey, wait for me, Sundance.
It's all uphill from here. Hollywood.
Great, I had to come up to the Yukon to get a freaking nickname.
Well, I'm sure you've got your share of nicknames. He kind of had this Butch Cassidy Sundance Kid remark. It just didn't lay good with me because it just felt so out of place. And I thought, you know, you're taking this too much of a joke. We got to keep moving here.
We've been jumping back and forth across the sand trails. We've been leaving a little bit of false trails, going along the train tracks. We came up here to the ridge just to see what we can see.
Well, look what we got here.
No one was on our ass. And, oh. Oh, come on, come on.
Let's go get them. We'll catch these boneheads in no time.
Son of a bitch.
The prey disappear over the ridge. The slope becomes far too steep for the horses to run. Mantracker is forced to slow down.
I think I got a little too cocky, started saying that I couldn't see the Mantracker, and when I looked down, just below the ridge, about 400 meters, there he was, staring right back up at us. Joe and I bolted as fast as we can, but Joe, you...
Well, the ridge we're on, the pitch is steep enough, he won't be able to come up the same way we did to get up here, so he's going to have to find another way up, and in the meantime, we're just going to have to boogie.
We're going to have to try and make ground now when he can't climb. Let's go.
Well, I didn't think they'd still be here, Chuck, but they left some good tracks. Yeah. Isn't that funny? They're not hiding their tracks now. They're making tracks. When we saw them on the hill, they ran this way. We've got a pretty decent heel imprint here. There's a very definite toe kick, which tells us they are running.
They're making pretty long steps there.
Yeah, they're taking long steps, and all you're basically seeing is a little bit of disturbance with a good toe kick, so they're on the run.
Try not to break too many branches. This is good country, though. We went through the thick bush just to try to shake the tracker off us. We knew the horse would have a problem going through there. Let's bushwhack for a while, see if we can lose him, because he's got a visual on us already.
If we stay in the bush, the horse will have a harder time coming through.
Yep.
Running through thick brush is not easy for a man, but for a horse, it's even tougher.
Oh, good, look at this, a little trail.
But not impossible.
They do a reggae version of Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon.
No way.
Yeah, and it is awesome.
Yeah, that's got to be pretty sweet, man.
Before he begins a chase, a tracker always gets as much information as he can about the people he's after.
Joe's a local guy. He's, you know, done guiding and stuff. He's the one that's going to be leading the other one in trying to evade me. I think he's going to be the smart one of the bunch.
So this willow is great stuff for us. Hard to travel in. You leave no evidence at all. Oh.
I see the whiskey bottle.
Julio is kind of a fun type guy. He's going to be the kind of guy that's bebopping around out there and not really worried about what kind of tracks he leaves.
Julio, dude, you gotta work out this shoelace thing. This is 3 times now.
Things falling out of my bag and blah, 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 blah.
The shoelaces kept coming untied, and every time we'd start running, we'd have to stop because his knife was falling out or his bear spray was falling out. Are you having trouble keeping up there, Hollywood?
Nope. He calls me Hollywood because I'm loud, boisterous, and I'm very opinionated and action orientated. Oh, jeez. I think you're losing it, Granola. He's very wholesome and, well, we have to watch where we go, and you know, you gotta watch the sand, and he knows a lot about plants. I don't mean it as a bad thing. I actually mean Granola as a compliment because he's truly a down-to-earth kind of guy.
And while we're going, there was some fireweed there, and I just pointed the fireweed out to Julio. You know, you can eat this stuff. It doesn't taste great, but it's edible.
Look at you, Robinson Crusoe, eh?
Mm-hmm.
No.
And he seemed to only have his mind on one weed, and which wasn't going to do us any good.
Check it out, Joe cabin.
Hey, right on, a little piece of history.
As a weekend warrior, this chase is more than Julio bargained for. After bushwhacking for over an hour, he's showing his first signs of wearing down.
We can stay in here and relax a bit, dude. Have something to drink. He'll pass right by us, you know.
It's great here, Julio, but we gotta keep going. He's right on our ass. He's been there the whole time. Let's keep moving. We don't have time. We'll eat on the run. There's no time to hang out.
I'm with you, I'm with you.
Let's show him. See if you can follow this.
There's no way that
Mantracker.
horse is coming through here.
No. Aside from all the broken branches.
You hear anything? I better not. That'll be bullshit, man. There's no way he's here already.
Don't make no difference who I'm after. They're gonna get caught.
Just 6 hours into the chase, and the prey are barely hanging on. Earlier, Joe and Julio let their guard down and were spotted. Luckily, they got away by charging through thick brush to slow down the horses.
Yeah, if somebody's been in here, you can see the leaves have been carried into the cabin.
Chuck leads Mantracker to the old trapper's cabin. It's a hunch that pays off.
No, it looks like they've been here, Chuck. The stick has been moved, out of position. There's a broken weed there. There's another one here that somebody has stepped on. An animal doesn't do that. They've stepped on that. It's not very old either. The plant is still very, very green. No sign of wilting.
Like a forensic estimation of the time of death, the tearing, the color, and the bruised areas of a plant can reveal how long ago it was damaged.
They haven't been gone very long.
No. It's less than an hour here.
So we're not very far behind them.
Julio stumbles on some old telegraph wire and hatches a plan.
You got an end?
Yep.
Well, let's see if it'll work. Let's go.
Okay, let's go. Going across.
I think if we put this from that post to that tree there, it won't hurt him. They'll see it, obviously, but he'll have to stop, dismount, take the wire down.
Yeah, and then he'll be thinking we're setting up booby traps, so it'll slow him down. It'll buy us some time. But it's only going to work if we can do this quick. Julio, how's it look on that end?
I'm pulling it.
All right. Pull it as tight as you can.
Okay.
As it turns out, I really hope it worked, making them stop to take everything apart and keeping them on their toes for the rest of this course, because it's not going to be easy. I know it's not easy for us, but you know what? We're setting it up, and we're going to make him go down, plain and simple. We're just not getting caught.
This looks like a great spot. We'll go into where we leave our tracks. We'll split up. You go right, I'll go left. So they'll have to split up and follow us.
Okay.
And further down, if you stay on the right side, I'll join in with you later. But we'll be parallel to each other when we go down. Julio, faster!
They know we're behind them.
That's where it's good. We're playing off each other. I'm pretty familiar in the bush. Julio's got the MacGyver, and yeah, it helped us. It bought us time. That's what we got to keep doing this whole trip, is just keep buying time, buying time.
Keep him thinking that we're amateurs, we don't know what we're doing, silly traps, and maybe his confidence will get too much for him, and we'll see him at the finish line.
In fact, it's not. As it turns out, it's just a minor nuisance.
Well, this ain't gonna work, Chuck.
Yeah, they kind of strung a fence right around.
Joe and Julio spent 25 minutes trying to stall Mantracker with deceptive tactics.
Yeah, we can clean her up there so the animals don't get caught.
It delayed Mantracker only 10 minutes, so the guys actually lost time with their attempts.
Hit them up, move them out. These schoolyard games ain't gonna cut it out here.
It doesn't take long for Mantracker to spot where his prey rejoined the sandy trail. He's got a solid direction and is gaining on them. But up ahead, Joe has convinced a reluctant Julio to leave the trail and cut through a massive swamp.
Those are just granola sandals.
So we got a swamp. These are my swamp shoes.
Those are granola sandals, dude.
Swamp shoes. I'm going across here. I'm not going to take any time to find a route.
Pretty good sized grizz track. We're following their tracks, and it looks like he's following them too. He might even be in between us.
Only hours into the chase, and more than 30 kilometers to the finish, the prey resort to stall tactics to gain ground on their predator, but none of their tricks pay off. The prey slog through a swamp. For horses, this place is like quicksand, and for Julio, a different hazard. He hates leeches.
That's it, swamp boy. Wait till those leeches get you.
You can find your own way.
Oh, thanks. You're like my first date. The granola just went straight through the swamp, and I thought we had enough time that I really could take 30 seconds to save my feet.
Hollywood didn't want to get his feet wet, so he wanted to knock down trees and build bridges and rafts and everything. And for me, I was just, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Just like Jesus Christ.
Mantracker is barely at the swamp's edge, and he's in trouble.
Whoa.
One false move and his horse breaks a leg. Then it's game over.
Whoa.
Mantracker needs to retreat and come up with another plan.
Come on, buddy.
Past the swamp is a lake. It's a dead end that should stop the pair. By circling the swamp, Mantracker can cut them off.
So we went up on top of a gravel bar or an esker, and we thought we'll get a good look around from up there and see where they're going and what they're up to and whether they go around the lake or what.
The prey meet their dead end, a frigid, windswept Yukon lake with unseen hazards below. It'll take hours to go around on exposed shores, a sure capture. Risking exposure, even drowning, they make their choice.
Let's go, Joe.
All the way, all the way.
When it came down to the lake, I knew what had to be done. Strip down, tie up, and go.
See you later, Mantracker. Come on, granola, don't make me take you the whole way across.
Don't worry. I can take care of myself.
Well, then take harder.
they were away from shore enough we couldn't get to them with all their stuff on a little raft, and they're swimming across there, and there's nothing we could do.
You okay, Joe?
I'm doing good.
Okay. Holy smokes, buddy.
We're getting there.
We're making it. Hope our stuff stays dry.
Driven by sheer guts and adrenaline, they make it. Cold, wet, but alive.
We were willing to make some big sacrifices to try to get a lead on them. We weren't just out for a walk in the park. For me, that was probably the most pivotal time in the whole chase, because that was our way of showing the tracker, who was again right on our tail just as we're swimming away, to let him know that we meant business, and it paid off.
They're pretty cocky. It kind of made us perk up and realize that these guys weren't going to get away at that point.
Mantracker's next clue is hours away. Joe and Julio's plunge in the cold and dangerous water was the last thing he expected. The move gives Julio and Joe a distinct advantage. For Mantracker, it's a huge setback. It will take him at least 6 more hours to get around the lake to their last sighting spot. By then, it will be well into the night, and they will have no choice but to camp.
Just like climbing the ladder of success, my friend. That's right.
Hey, this looks like a pretty good spot right here.
This is beautiful. Great camp. I'm not going any further.
All right, let's make camp here. We'll get some firewood.
First day, baby.
Yep.
Never caught us.
Right on.
Finally, a victory for Julio and Joe. Knowing that Mantracker can't get them tonight, they can safely build a fire, dry up, and avoid hypothermia. Even if Mantracker spots their smoke, he can't cover the long distance at night.
Maybe start boiling some water or
And
something.
the bowls, yeah, let's go for it. That took 1 match, that's great. Pretty good for a city boy. Nice bed of coal, maybe you can get your slingshot and shoot a fish or something.
Still fragile from their daring escape, day 1 ends. Julio and Joe begin to bond as a team.
So I think we're getting stronger as we're going.
I think we are too. We made our mistakes at the beginning, and we recovered, and now he's the one frazzled.
That's right, we've got the upper edge, and if we can keep that, then there's no reason why we can't.
Exactly.
Because we're
We're at
getting
the
better
edge
as we're
right
going,
now.
getting stronger. But I really wonder what mooning him is either gonna mess him up or get him so pissed off
That he's really
we've
going to come after us.
awoken the giant.
Looking into the fire, you realize that, you know, tomorrow's another day and they're going to be a little more tired, maybe a little more anxious to make some ground, so hopefully they'll make a few more mistakes and give me some tracks that we can really deal with and make some time. And it's kind of good to be able to see the shocked look on their face when we ride right up to them.
So were you cold?
No, I slept pretty good. How was your space blanket?
Good.
Before nightfall, the prey gained great distance on Mantracker. By swimming the frigid waters, they forced him to make the long trek around the lake. It's dawn, and Mantracker is racing toward his last sighting of the prey.
So do you think Mantracker's up yet?
Oh, for sure. We've been up for a bit. We've got our camp finished. We should probably head her.
Head now.
I don't think that horse is coming this way, man.
Thing is, we're putting miles on now.
This
keep
is
it up.
distance time. Distance time.
They left around here.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Hollywood, let's see if we can move this blow down over.
Hey, good idea.
Quite a flat spot in the grass there. Somebody could have slept there.
Yeah, it could have been somebody or an animal slept there.
Let's check out this campfire.
This evidence is inconclusive. Mantracker needs to locate something definitive so he can establish the prey's direction of travel.
They left as a present, Chuck.
Yes, see?
Left us a note here, Chuck. Says Mantracker. And then an arrow that way. These bunch of sticks, I don't know. Any ideas?
I think they're just trying to fool with us here.
These rocks here make an arrow and they point that way. So they probably went that way.
Here it goes. We got her.
Well, if you're done your tree hugging, I think we should go.
We got her. Get it off me. Get it off me.
Again, I'm saving your butt, buddy.
They shouldn't fool with us like that.
No?
Hey, it goes. That could be our lunch. Damn you!
Yeah, nice going, Granola. Real hunter. Real great white hunter you are.
There'll be more. There'll be more where that came from.
Do they really think this is going to stop us, Chuck? It was kind of humorous at that point. It was like, well, okay, if you think it's going to slow us down, well, fine. You know, maybe it gives us the advantage by them not knowing if it does or doesn't.
We are doing fine.
We know what's behind us, the Mantracker.
I know you're behind me. That's what's keeping me going. Hollywood's hanging in there. He's a little scared. I think the further this chase is going, the more into the wilderness we're getting, and I'm sensing an apprehension with him that he's away from the big city lights and that. So I'm trying to keep him calm. He's afraid to go off on his own now, so I know I don't have to lose him.
The prey haven't seen or heard of Mantracker since yesterday. They're tired and they're losing focus. Julio and Joe are taking the easy route, a vast sandy lake bed. It's a big mistake.
Yeah, we got a bit of a lucky break here. We've got two very definite, distinct tracks. We know it's those guys because we looked at their tracks from the start. We've got a nice little sandy spot here, so we'll just keep on going.
Mantracker has come within 2 hours of his prey. His sights are locked onto their tracks.
It's gonna be another hot one.
Oh, you know it.
The Yukon sun is hot, but the prey keep moving.
So we're way ahead of those guys.
Unaware that Mantracker is closing in, the reckless duo keep moving steadily. They're getting tired and decide to jump back on the railway bed.
We're doing fine.
We don't care what's behind us. We only care what's in front of us.
We had found some big grizzly bear tracks on top of their tracks. So we knew that somewhere in between the two of us was this big grizzly bear because he took off in their direction.
But what about all that bear droppings we saw, man?
They're eating lots of berries. I think we should keep our eye open for the berry patches.
Well, there was like 3 or 4 different types of bear droppings, not just one bear that was dropping it.
Bears are curious by nature. This male grizzly has been stalking the prey all afternoon. Luckily for Julio and Joe, the bear moves off their trail.
We were a bit amused by the bear following our prey and hoping that he wasn't going to be competition for us to catch up to the prey.
If we keep going strong today, the chase is ours.
The chase is ours already. Just don't look down, man. Do not look down.
We just gotta keep moving. Just keep moving.
They're staying right on the trail. They must be getting tired.
You know, there's a railroad station just up ahead there.
Check this out. Come on. We'll find some shade in there or something.
Day 2 has been a grind. The Yukon sun hasn't let up, and Julio is breaking down. The shade of one of the cabins and an old railway settlement is tempting, but it's a gamble.
How you doing, Julio?
I'm doing good, dude. I'm doing good. Don't worry. You gotta quit being so paranoid, man. Just relax.
Not paranoid. One of us has to stay on our toes.
We're on our toes.
We're on our toes.
Have we been caught?
No.
Well, then get off my back.
Why are we not
Get
caught?
off my back.
Why are we not
Because
caught
we're
then?
doing well as a team. So let's just keep doing well as a team and we'll leave it at that. Just 5 minutes, dude. Just lay down here. I'll snooze a bit. You can wake me up when we're ready to go. Granola, just relax, brother.
Get it off me.
Don't look down. Julio, Julio.
Oh, shit.
Okay, where are we going? Because I think we're caught.
Mantracker's advance spooked the prey out the back door. They escaped unseen. The prey have to make a final push for the finish. With a complex trail ahead, Joe's expert navigation skills are crucial. Victory is finally in sight, except for one thing.
We were running, and I had the map in my hand, and on the fly, I wanted to get rid of the map.
Is it in your
And,
back pocket?
Well, I was running, so it's not there, it's not here. No, I think maybe I gave it to you.
No, you didn't. Don't even try that one.
Okay.
Okay, what do we remember from the map? There was a train, the Yukon White Trail,
The White Pass train.
the White Pass train,
Yeah.
right up to Cowley Lakes.
Yeah.
And from Cowley Lakes, we can cross over due east and hit the finish line.
For the first time in the chase, Mantracker shares the same splinter of land with the prey. Only a sparse forest stands between the two.
That's where the finish line is. As
Yeah.
long as we pass those 2 bridges on Cowley Lakes, we don't need to go back to the
Yeah,
map.
where are the Cali Lakes from here? That's that.
Due north. You got your compass.
I do have a compass.
I need to get to the finish line, and I will get to the finish line with my teammate.
Yeah, they're very close. I thought I saw them cross the road up here, but I didn't see any tracks. Just trying to find some movement in the bush here. See them.
In the moment of panic, teamwork is history for Julio. For this extreme wrestler, it's every man for himself.
You got me. You don't look good, kid.
This primal thing kicks in.
Good job.
And
You did well.
that's where I truly felt like prey. Before it was like, okay, this guy's got to track this, we'll do little games, try to throw him off. But when I saw him behind us, you had the feeling you're running for your life, and it was not a pleasant feeling at all.
He got into the thickest stuff he possibly could, but thick for a person is not thick for a horse at all. So what he had a hard time running through, the horse, loped through with no problem at all.
Joe was captured 4.5 kilometers from the finish. Meanwhile, Julio is still on the loose without a map or compass.
I literally stopped breathing at that moment because I didn't want any noise to come out of my mouth or anywhere near me. And I truly believe human desperation is what kicked in.
Once the prey is flushed, the trackers on horseback easily run down Julio. It's only a matter of seconds.
Nobody gets away from me.
Can't believe you caught me. You caught my partner, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hollywood takes out granola round one. I'm moving. Can't believe you guys caught me.
He almost give you the slip, eh, Chuck?
Yeah.
I think it'd be a little demoralizing to be chased by a pair of horses.
Got caught. Halfway to Albuquerque.
I saw that.
Oh, you saw that?
Yeah.
Good. Guess well saw it. Mantracker.
I was hoping it was really thick forest, and it wasn't. So I knew the horse could still chase me. And when I was getting out of breath, I stopped, and I thought, okay, I'll turn around, I'll see where they're at. And he was right on me. I had no chance.
I actually dove into a bush to hide. And that's when the hooves were there. Mantracker just basically looked down, looked me straight in the eyes and said, "Sir, you've been captured."
I was very surprised to see them in the middle of the wide open field. I thought they'd be on the edge of the bush or, inside the bush or something.
We started walking through this open field and we heard the gallops. We turned, they were there. We didn't think where we were running, we just started running.
And then when we realized they were right on us, it was too late. He's counting on mistakes to help him along, and we helped him along by making those mistakes.
I just think we got cocky. You have a horse that's mounted by a professional tracker, so now you have a beast which has the physical powers and it has the brain behind it now.